Hello and welcome to Cut It with a Hammer. I promised you guys at the beginning that I would do some project videos, and while the table that you see the stuff in front of you sitting on is my current project, it's not quite done yet, so I don't do an entire video on just the table as I put it together. Instead, I'm going to show you the projects I've got done and a few photos of stuff I've done in the past that I've given or sold to other people. The first thing I'm going to show you is this serving tray that was in a Woodcraft magazine a bunch of years ago. It's made out of padauk and maple, and the padauk comes out a very orangey color when you first mill it and sand it, and the maple is a little bit lighter than this, but they both turn a little bit darker where the padauk turns really dark. It's a very nice. My most popular thing I've made and given away have been these chopsticks. I made about 100 pairs and it took me a while. There's a lot of effort into putting them together. The bottom is maple and the top is wenge with a bloodwood spline that holds the two together. I'm thinking about possibly doing them again to get a little more consistency in the taper, and some of my Japanese friends said they would like something with a little finer point. Another little thing I made about 5 or 6 years ago out of a little piece of walnut I had laying around is a headboard tray that slides on top of a headboard, so you can put little things that sometimes end up on headboards that you don't want rolling off behind the bed and have to go dig for. So it's just a little dished out piece of walnut. This is a ring presentation box. I made it out of bloodwood and maple, and it was originally a rectangular piece of wood, and then I milled it into a cylinder, and there'll be a picture in the upper corner of it after I milled it into a cylinder, but I did that on the router table. I don't have a lathe and no wrenches to one. The ring goes in there, and if anybody's looking for a presentation box, you're more than welcome to have it. I might do another one. It's a pretty fun project, and I think I could do a much better job on the next one. The first time you do a project, it's always you make a lot of mistakes and you learn a lot along the way. This last thing is a card box that I made out of what's called thermally modified red oak. Red oak is a rather light color like what you see on the floor behind you, if not much lighter. But oak has been put in an oven and baked all the sugar out of it, so it's very resistant to bugs and rotting. Originally it comes out this color, and then when you put a finish on it, it comes out really dark. It was really fun to work with. It's a bit brittle. The padauk is a bit brittle too, but this is a lot more brittle. And when you mill it, it smells like coffee, roasted coffee. So it was interesting the first time I milled it to come up with this smell. One of the little things I did with this that I thought was kind of interesting was, in order to keep the cards upright, I made these nesting boxes that you can put together in various combinations or various ways, so that you can store your cards vertical, and you can still store the little boxes inside each other, so you can keep them all together so you don't lose them in someplace else. Unless of course your card box is full, and then you got to take them out. But it was a fun little project. I had a lot of good time with this. I learned a lot, tried a lot of new things. And so the one piece of furniture I did keep that I made just for myself is this live edge coffee table. It's a piece of wood I saw in a woodcraft store, 4 or 5 years ago. And it took me a long time to decide what to do with it. Originally I was thinking a sofa table, but I could just never get the legs, think of the leg design that I wanted to work with. So when I decided that maybe I'll just make it a coffee table, it was like instant design, and I started working on it right away. But this side is mostly live edge, as you can see. The ends are milled. I had to straighten those up. And then the sawmill had cut this side, had cut in this part fairly straight. So I just straightened it up and took it all the way down the other end where it became live edge again. But this was a really fun project. I learned a lot. and made plenty of mistakes, but this one this is a keeper. It's just got a plain clear finish on it. Another project I made was these birdhouses. They're made out of cedar, and the interesting thing is that they're round and with a copper roof, and you put it on top of a copper pipe. This is my first commission project. Was a set of 3 shelves. It's made out of African mahogany. It's not really this dark as a natural wood when you put just finish on it, but the lady wanted darker wood, so while I don't necessarily care to stain wood, the customer gets what the customer wants. So, but here's a picture of it with it installed in her apartment. She also wanted a serving tray like what I had, but this is also made out of African mahogany. She also wanted this little coffee table. She has a chair in a bedroom that she sits and reads at, but the floor is too far away really to set her coffee down. So she wanted a little coffee table to put her coffee down when she read. She has a very Asian theme in her house, so I added the Koi tile on the top just to give it a little Asian flavor, and the sides are all angled at 5 degrees, which is another common feature in Asian furniture, is the slanted sides. This little table here, the picture's not particularly good on it. I guess it's not too bad, but this I did for a gentleman. He wanted a very small, lightweight desk. Here's a flag box that I did for my mom, for my stepdad. And here's a small portable paint palette and a small easel. And then this last item is a memory box that I gave to my son and my daughter-in-law for their wedding. And this is what Padook looks like when it's recently milled. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.